So this is Food All You Never Wanted to Know, and we're here at the Carlisle Farmers Market, and we are talking to...
My name's Shane Gladhill. I work at Three Springs Fruit Farm. We're a seventh generation...
We have some noise?
Yeah.
We have some noise. This is an active place. Okay.
We're a seventh generation fruit farm. We've been farming the same area in Adams County since 1901, right down in Gardner's, PA, as well as Wenksville, PA.
Wow.
We grow about 40 different varieties of apples, lots of peaches, lots of cherries, a few berries and vegetables here as well.
So there aren't just 4 kinds of apples.
There
that
sure
you
are.
see in the
No.
store. Do you have you pick, or you just go to farmers markets?
Mostly markets. You pick. We're kind of spread out for a you pick. We have half of our farm over on one side of Bendersville and other half on the other side. So we're a little too spread out to do a you pick situation. But we try to take food where people are and less fresh fruit is. So we go to a lot of the farmers markets in the cities like Baltimore, DC. This one's our close to home one here in Carlisle. And then we do one all the way out in Philadelphia as well.
Oh my goodness. That's a trek.
All over the place.
That is a trek. Now, I see there are lots of different varieties of apples here.
Yes.
That you've got. And I missed the one that I really wanted, but I'll get it next year.
Yes.
It's the pink pearl.
The
Could
pink
you tell
pearl.
them about the pink pearl?
The pink pearl is what's called a surprise apple. So it's a pale yellow on the outside, but it's actually a pink fleshed apple. So where you'll usually have a white flesh, you have actual pink in the middle.
Yeah. And I had it 2 years ago. It was spectacular. It was
is really good. It's a
awesome.
nice tart apple, kind of like a sour apple candy with a little sweetness in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is awesome. So I'm going to go down the line here and look at a few of the different varieties. And I know I love Jonathan's. Jonathan's are good.
Classic old style apple.
They are super.
It's one of our special ingredients in our cider. We use a bin of Jonathan in each batch of cider that we press.
Really?
As well. Yep.
Ah. I used to have a juicer, but it broke, so I'm going to have to get a new one. Anyway, then we have Ida Reds. Ida Red, do-do-do. That's from the Music Man, right? Anyway, and that says it's mild with a hint of spice. So does that mean tart, or does that
I feel like it's more of a middle of a sweet tart blend. Very similar flavor to a Honeycrisp. A little bit different texture to it, but it's a great sauce or baking apple.
Okay. And then Pink Lady.
Pink Lady just came in yesterday.
Oh boy, they look fresh.
They're very fresh.
They look nicer than the ones at the store.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Very nice looking apple.
Yeah. And Empire Strikes Back. I mean, just Empire.
Empire's our closest to Macintosh we have right now. It's actually a Macintosh blend with a Red Delicious.
Okay. Okay, and then Mitsu. They're huge.
Mitsu, sometimes known as a Crispin apple.
Okay. Then Macoun is probably not one that's usual.
It's another Macintosh blend. It's blended with a very rare apple. I forget the name of it. But it has a little bit more of that Macintosh texture with a kind of tart berry flavor to it.
Well, that's cool. I might have to try that one.
Yeah, like a tart blueberry.
Yeah. Then Knit Me. What's the story with Knit Me?
Knit Me's was developed at Penn State, hence the name. It's a cross between a Golden Delicious and a York apple.
Huh. York is a very old variety, isn't it?
Yep. Another Pennsylvania native variety as well.
Oh, that's cool. Then we have Golden Delicious. Everybody should know that one.
Yeah. Now these are better than your usual Golden Delicious. A lot of people have had their share of bad Golden Delicious. These are a lot more crisp, especially if you keep them refrigerated rather than storing them at room temperature like you'll see at the grocery stores. Great mellow sweetness to them.
Yep. Then Galas have become real popular all over the place.
The most grown apple in the United States. It just passed Red Delicious probably 4 years ago.
Well, my opinion of Red Delicious, I won't say what my
yes,
opinion
we all feel similar.
Super, I don't know.
It's for appearance and not for flavor.
Yeah. Now Blondie.
Blondie is actually a yellow mutation of a Gala. So
Really?
a farmer had found a gala tree that just kept producing yellow galas,
Huh.
and we bred it into its own variety now.
So they're real mild too, like the Gala is?
Yeah, nice, sweet. I'd say, even in my opinion, a little sweeter than the gala, a little different sweetness.
Uh-huh. Okay. And now over here, we have a few more over here. Gold,
I bet you can guess what that's a cross of.
Jonathan, and Golden Delicious.
You got it.
Right?
That's it.
Okay.
It's my favorite choice for a saucing apple.
Yeah.
It also bakes really well. Very versatile.
Yeah, I have had them before, but it's been a long time. Fuji.
Fuji.
A lot of
Now,
people
this variety
know
of Fuji is called a September Wonder Fuji. It's our early variety of Fuji. Our probably about 2 weeks we'll have our Aztec Fuji, which are a lot redder, kind of like the John of Gold are.
Okay.
And we also grow Myra Fuji as well.
Okay. So it says bold sweetness makes sweet sauce without added sugar.
Yeah.
That's what it says. Okay. And
It's our sweetest apple, highest on the Brick scale, which is a measurement of apple sugars,
Okay.
or fruit sugars in general.
So I don't know if many people have heard of bricks. I have. So it tests the sugars.
BRIX, we usually use a spectrometer, which is using light passing through the juice to measure the sweetness. That way we can tell when they're ripe.
Yeah. Okay. Now Cameo, I just picked up a couple of these because I've never had these before. It says sweet tart, hints of honey and citrus.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. Again, another versatile apple, great for cooking, saucing, or just fresh eating. I love to fresh eat them. They kind of have that shape of a Red Delicious, but don't share any other qualities with the Red Delicious.
This one has a free leaf there. Okay, and this one is intriguing. The Esopus Spitzenberg.
Yeah, the Spitzenberg are a really old variety. It was actually Thomas Jefferson's favorite apple. He planted a lot of them around Monticello. A really nice, dense, textured apple with a sweet tart, kind of on the tartar side.
Wow. Well, I like tart myself in an apple. I like fruit with taste, not bland.
Right.
So we have two left. No, there's one left. Honey Crisp, that should sound familiar.
The Honey Crisp are my favorite. There's a reason they're so popular right now. Really thin skin, great crispiness, very juicy, sweet tart, kind of right in the middle there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have a bag of apples.
A few bags.
And I've labeled them because I'm going to taste test a little later. So, well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Enjoy.
Okay, so we're back from the farmer's market, and I'd like you to take a look at the apples that I got at the farmer's market. We got Cameo, Nittany, Empire, which is a hybrid from Macintosh, Esopus Spitzenberg, which was somebody's favorite apple, Thomas Jefferson's favorite apple, Pink Lady, and many of you see this one in the store. This one we did not get at the farmer's market. This is the Arc Black from Artrees, and we're not going to taste test this one today because we're waiting until they are totally ripe. Believe it or not, these are not totally ripe yet.
I think we taste tested that before.
We did, and it wasn't quite ripe. It was still a little bit green. So we're looking at the Cameo first, and I'm just going to cut off a little piece. See the nice color inside. One thing that, as you look at these apples, realize there are thousands and thousands of apple varieties. And these apples are different in taste, in looks. They're different in the resistance to disease. They're different to resistance to heat and cold and diseases. It's very important to know that you should never just count on one variety of anything. That's what happened during the Irish potato famine. I'm sure you all know about that. They were basically growing one variety of potato, and that was not good when a disease hit that affected that particular strain of potato. So, tasting this one, that's nice. I have our helper taste that too. That's a nice tomato. Not a tomato, sorry. That's a nice apple. We're going to the Nittany now. Looks a little bit different. Okay, the inside color is very similar. Oh, it's a little bit more yellow. See that? Now these are nice ripe apples. A lot of times in the store, the apples are picked early, and that doesn't help. We'll let our helper taste a little piece. That's nice too. Do you think that's a little milder?
It is more mellow.
A little mellower. Okay, I'm going to put these back on the plates. Later we may cook something with them all mixed up together. We shall see. Empire is, again, a combination of, I forget whether he said it was delicious or something else, and the Macintosh. So I expect the texture to be different. I can feel it already. It's a smoother texture. Now this one may be slightly greeny still, I'm not sure. But on the other hand, Macintoshes do tend to be that way. So we're going to taste that. A much more tender apple. It's sweet. It tastes good. I like that. That's one of the ones when we first got married. This is the Spitzenberg. I'm really not sure how to say that. When my husband and I first got married, he introduced me to a local pick apple orchard. That was near where he used to live. And I learned so many different varieties of apples. So this is the one that Thomas Jefferson liked. It was his favorite apple.
I can see why.
Ooh, what does that taste? What does that taste? It's almost like a candy. What is that taste?
Apple.
Apple candy? Mmm. Ooh. That is good. That is fascinating. That is a fascinating flavor. Okay, we're going to go to the Pink Lady. Okay. And a lot of you, again, have probably seen this in the store. The guy at the stand, now that's a little bit bruised. That's, that's not because of the variety. Just got bumped. Maybe in the car. Anyway, he said these were very, very fresh apples. Basically, they just picked them. Oh my goodness. That's better than the ones in the stores. Isn't that good?
Yep, very sweet.
Oh my goodness. But not sweet bland, not bland sweet. That's like sweet. Oh, it's got some flavor. So what I was starting to say is that there were thousands and thousands of apple varieties, just like there are thousands and thousands of tomato varieties. And each one is a little bit different from all the other ones. And believe it or not, we have lost hundreds, maybe even thousands of apple varieties because the stores only wanted to buy certain varieties. For a long time, all you would see in a store was the quote-unquote delicious apple, which I take a little offense at. I don't think it's really that delicious. When I was a child, I never liked apples because they were bland. They didn't taste like anything. Then when I was a teenager, my mom found in the store Golden Delicious, and I decided I liked Golden Delicious because it had a little bit more flavor. Now the original Delicious apple, as I've learned, had more flavor than the ones that came after. Plus a lot of times they're picked when they're still green, and that doesn't help at all. So anyway, with apples, you can get dozens, you can get hundreds of apples in the fall. You don't have to eat them all as a whole apple. You can slice them, you can cook them, you can make applesauce, you can make apple pie. When you make applesauce with fresh apples, especially if you mix them, you don't even have to add sugar. I never add sugar when I'm doing applesauce. I don't add honey, I don't add molasses. It's just good. It's just good. It's not like what you find in a jar. And also you can make dried apples, dehydrated apples. You can find a really inexpensive dehydrator at lots of different places to get started. And I would encourage you to try that. If you want to, you can dip the apple in lemon juice before you dry it. If you like that little zing of the lemon, it'll prevent them from getting brown. Now, we're going to step away from apples for a minute. This is not an apple. Do you know what you think this is? What do you think this is? If you didn't know what it was. Looks like a turnip.
It does.
Doesn't it? Okay. This is a radish. This is called a watermelon radish. I have had these before. Now, one thing you need to know when you're planting radishes or anything in this family that's a root, anything that's a root probably, this is a long taproot, okay? So even though the part that you eat is only, I'll have a little check up here. That's only, that's 2.5 inches long. That's pretty good, actually. That's a pretty nice size radish. But the taproot is almost 8 inches long, okay? So if you want to grow something like this in a pot, you'll need a pot that's nice and deep, because that taproot knows, it can feel the end of the pot, and it will shrink what you end up with as the vegetable. So I'm going to cut this, and you're going to see why this is called a watermelon radish. It's kind of whitish greenish on the outside. When you cut into it, look at that. Just look at that. And not only that, you know how most radishes are very, very spicy, and I hope I'm not proven wrong here. Look, it looks just like a watermelon slice. Isn't that beautiful? This is a great thing to have for hors d'oeuvres on the hors d'oeuvre plate, the platter. And you can cut them in cute little things, like cute little pieces. I'm gonna have our helper try a piece, and I'll try a piece. See if they're the way they should be. Very crunchy.
Not hot at all.
We're having some more of this in our salad tonight. Okay, so we're gonna move on. We bought the radish. They were a bunch. We got 3 for $3. So these things are not cheap. They're worth trying. We also got some nice mixed lettuces from the same people, and they grow completely organically. So you can't tell me they suffer from not having to spray pesticides. There is nothing wrong with this. Now they may have some organic methods up their sleeves, but this is a perfect radish, and this is perfect baby lettuce with lots of varieties. We also bought beef kebabs from someone who we know very well, and he's usually at the farmer's market. And we wanted to get something a little bit different. We don't usually eat beef. We don't eat it very often. As you know, we eat more chicken. We eat a lot of chicken because we raise chicken. But we're gonna try beef kebabs in a couple nights. We're gonna see how those are. And this is something I cannot cook because I don't have a recipe. This was on a whim. We ate one in the car. We got 2, and I think we're gonna eat the other one now. This is a pumpkin chocolate chip cookie. And oh my goodness, it's wonderful. It's soft. It's not too sweet. I think there's some whole grains in there. Anyway, what I want to emphasize is with all these things, you cannot find these at the store. You can't find them in the store. You need to go to your local farmers. You need to go to a farmer's market. You need to find these from people who can't sell at a regular store. And as far as the meat farmer goes, he sells beef and lamb, pork, guinea hens, ducks, turkeys, heritage turkeys. What else does he grow? He sells chicken eggs. We buy chicken eggs from him all the time. He also sells duck eggs, I believe. You can't buy those at the store, and you certainly can't get grass-fed. The beef, his beef is 100% grass-fed, so is his lamb. 100% grass-fed. So you've got the omega-3 fatty acids in there that are gonna help you to be healthier. So even though it's beef, people think, oh, beef is not healthy. Feedlot beef may not be healthy. Grass-fed beef is excellent for you. It almost has the same amount of omega-3s as fish. So we're gonna enjoy this cookie. And for now, we're gonna sign off. This is food all you never wanted to know. Please like, share, subscribe. Take care.